Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome to part 3 of our hypertension program. This one is focusing on the lower body. So we're going to be starting with a goblet squat, but for setup I want us to have a resistance band like this, a dumbbell of a moderate weight, and of course a bench. So we're starting with our goblet squat, which is what our dumbbell is for. So it's just going to be doing a basic squat with a little bit of weight, so focusing more on that load, but we're still not going for a heavy load. So it should be, by the end of it, you're like, oh, I can feel that. So we're going to be rolling down, knees over toes, weight through your heels, making sure that your backbone is going down into the ground, going as far as you can comfortably for your anatomy, switching on that core and coming back up. Watching that your knees aren't going in or out, and we're nice and strong and stable. If your range of motion is here, we go here. If you are amazing and your range of motion is all the way down here, fantastic. But listen to your body, particularly with hypertension. The last thing we want is this, that big up and down movement, because that's gonna not make you feel too good. It's gonna put that extra load on all those arterial walls, and we don't want that. So we're just gonna focus nice and steady, listening to your body the whole time. After our goblet squat, we're going to be using our resistance band. Again, when we're putting it down, up and down our equipment, if you can, please make sure that it's not on the ground. Again, with hypertension, we don't want us to be going all the way down here, coming back up here. We want it as high as we can, safely. So we're going to be popping this one around the upper part of our knees. So not on our knees, on the lower part of our thighs is probably a better explanation. And we're going to be just doing, separating the legs, bring them together. Separate and bring them together. We're going to do an external rotation at the hip and the knee and back together. So this is going to really build up through the lateral or outside parts of our glutes. Building up those really strong legs. Great for preventing any lower back, sacrum and knee injuries. Lovely. Once we've done our crab walks, based on whatever your program ends up being reps and time-wise, we're going to be going onto a single leg squat. This is what we're going to be using our bench for. If you feel more comfortable, you can also have something to hold onto for stabilization. But video's sake, popping one leg up, finding our comfortable spot, and then bringing ourselves down as far as we can comfortably without any pain. Towards the ground, making sure there's enough room for your foot to move. Last thing we want is to do an ankle on a leg that isn't actually doing the work. And then swapping sides. Again, making sure we do everything evenly on both sides, but we're not going to be alternating. So we'll do, say, 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. Making sure the weight still goes through that heel, even though it's only on one leg, and that knee isn't going all over the place. It's still tracking over our toe. It's not going in, it's not turning out. It's nice and center, which means our load, or our body weight in this case, isn't going anywhere it shouldn't be. Alrighty, right. After our single leg squats, we're going to be doing something nice and exciting, which will be our calf raises. If you like, you can also use the weights that we prepared for our goblet squat. But for this, I will be doing it with body weight, and I'm going to be doing a slide on the demonstration. You can also do this off a block or a weight to get a greater range of motion as you come down. But we're going to come up onto our balls of our feet, calf raise. You'll feel it in the calves. It's also really great if you have a tendency for weaker ankles or hyperextending ligaments. And coming down and up. So this is just building up that strength through the lower leg. Again, great for preventing knee injuries as well as ankle injuries. Again, adding load or changing the range of motion of this movement if you want a little bit more of a challenge. After this, it's an exercise I'm going to show you, but jump on your treadmill that's at your side, or even if you have one at home. If you don't have one at home, find a hill. And we're just going to go for an incline walk. So popping an incline up to something that you can really feel, it's going to really switch on your glutes. We're going to be heading up at a very low speed, not like a slow motion speed, but probably around a 4 or a 5. up on that incline to really get those lower legs switching on. I don't want you to feel extremely puffed. I just want those legs to be moving. Again, we're not aiming for load and we're not aiming for speed. We're not aiming for high intensity. We're aiming to get strong and we're aiming to get that blood pressure back down in the long run. If you have any questions about any of these exercises, or if you want to retest your blood pressure, please ask one of your coaches at your gym. All right, guys, that wraps up our Training for Hypertension series.